Now, Jonathan, Jeff Sessions was also talked about as a possible candidate for Department of Defense. That did not happen. Now there's speculation about Tom Cotton, Senator of Arkansas. Defense Secretary Ash Carter has been out to Silicon Valley multiple times. We had an entrepreneur on a couple of days ago, Ryan Hindawi, who said he's met with him at least 4 or 5 times just in the last year. I actually sat down with Secretary Carter a year ago and talked to him about building this bridge with Silicon Valley that for a long time the relationship had been broadly ignored. Take a listen to what Secretary Carter had to say.
We need to be a technology leader to protect our country, and we can be a technology leader only if we partner with folks out here.
As you know, Jonathan, Silicon Valley broadly did not support Donald Trump and was very vocal about it. What sort of bridge do you expect the defense secretary, whoever it is, to build or maintain with this part of the country?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, there's no doubt anybody in innovation knows that immigration has been a big driver of why this country has been so great at innovation, so we should all be concerned about that. Speaking more narrowly about national security, you know, Ash Carter was part of a trend, but he didn't start the trend. I've been involved with DoD innovation for many years. The need for DoD to work with agile innovators in Silicon Valley, Boston, Austin, Washington, D.C., that is not a new thing. In fact, the Department of Defense has had a relationship with innovators in this country since the space race and even before. Silicon Valley got its start because of NASA and the need for semiconductor technology. I don't think it really matters who the Secretary of Defense is, frankly, because this is a big issue. We need the technology to drive our nation forward, and DoD R&D has been the backbone of every innovation that matters, including things like robotics, artificial intelligence, and other things that are now coming into the fore. So I do think it matters from the standpoint of policy and orientation. I think people in Silicon Valley are justifiably concerned about immigration. But make no mistake, innovation and technology and national security is very tightly entwined in this country and will continue to be so, whoever the Secretary of Defense is.
You did say, though, that this could be an opportunity for a reset between Washington and Silicon Valley. What kind of a reset do you think is needed and is likely?
Well, I think reset, what I was getting at is that Secretary Carter, the Department of Homeland Security, and other agencies have really made a big push to get out into Silicon Valley. And as you pointed out early in the remarks, this administration did not raise a lot of money in Silicon Valley, and it wasn't a candidate of Silicon Valley. So perhaps there's an opportunity for other regions of the United States to develop the same type of relationship, to have their innovators develop the same type of relationship that Secretary Carter and others wanted to have in Silicon Valley. What I mean by a reset is that one of the things that limited the success of these outreach efforts were how to engage in the government contracting industry. The reality is that companies like Booz Allen and others understand how to get technology into programs of record, and that is a big hurdle for young emerging companies to deal with. So when I say reset, I think there's an opportunity right now to look at the issues of acquisition reform, the issues of how to get technologies converted from early prototypes into programs of record, which is a really important challenge and, frankly, maybe more important for national security than reaching garage inventors when you look at things overall.
Last quick question for you, Bill. Jeff Sessions, as Attorney General, would be in charge of following through on Trump's promises to further investigate Hillary Clinton's email situation. Sessions had been supportive of a special prosecutor. Do you think this is something he'll follow through on?
I think that's ultimately going to be up to the president. You know, when Donald Trump did his interview last weekend, I think on 60 Minutes, he said that he didn't want to hurt the Clintons, that he thought they were good people after the campaign was over. So I think that's going to be something he'll have to decide early on. There certainly are people, whether Jeff Sessions is one of them, I don't know, but there are definitely people in the Congress who would like to see those investigations pursued to their conclusion.